The phone lit up between us like a warning flare. She didn't reach for it. Didn't even glance down. Just tightened her jaw and kept stirring the sauce, slow, patient, as if nothing in the world could interrupt that motion. I already knew what the name on the screen said. I'd seen it too many times before. Her ex, still pinned to the top of her messages. Like a priority, like a habit she never bothered to break. The vibration stopped. Silence rushed back in. I waited. She sighed, finally turning to me, eyes sharp with preemptive irritation, as if I had done something wrong just by noticing. "He's still in my life," she said flatly. "Deal with it." No apology, no explanation, just a verdict. Something cold slid into place behind my ribs. I nodded, because that's what I'd learned to do. Nod, absorb, store. Inside, my mind began arranging facts like chess pieces. Her late nights, the way she guarded her phone like it was breathing, the sudden nostalgia she wore like perfume, stories from back then, always told with a smile that didn't belong to me. I told myself it was harmless. People had past. People had history. But history doesn't text you at midnight. History doesn't know your wife's schedule better than you do. That night, lying beside her, I stared at the ceiling while she slept peacefully, untouched by the quiet war she'd just started. I didn't confront her. Men who confront early lose. Instead, I listened. I watched. I learned. Over the next weeks, I became invisible by design. Supportive, calm, predictable. The kind of husband women underestimate. She took calls in the car now, laughed softer around me, harder around him. I memorized the changes. Patterns are honest. People aren't. One afternoon, she mentioned his name casually, too, casually, while scrolling through her phone. "They're married now," she said, as if that settled something. Married. I felt a strange flicker of interest then. Not anger, opportunity. That night, while she slept, I did something simple. I searched. Names, connections, social circles. It didn't take long. He had a wife. Elegant, poised. The kind of woman who smiled like she already knew the ending. I stared at her photo longer than I should have. Not desire, recognition. Two lives running parallel. Two people being fed half-truths by the same mouths. I closed the laptop gently. Back in bed, my wife shifted closer, her hand finding my chest automatically. I let her rest there. Let her feel safe. Inside, I was already elsewhere, mapping consequences, timing, symmetry. She told me to deal with it. So I did. Quietly, patiently, and very, very carefully. I didn't rush. Rushed men make noise. Noise alerts prey. Instead, I reached out to her, his wife, through coincidence, dressed as fate. A comment on a professional post. A mutual connection. A polite exchange that felt harmless. She was intelligent. Observant. That mattered. Our conversation stayed clean at first. Work, life. The subtle disappointments people hide behind curated smiles. Then one night, she said his name the way my wife did. Too softly, too carefully. That was the crack. I didn't accuse. Didn't suggest. I mirrored. Shared how strange it felt when a past refused to stay buried. How absence could still leave fingerprints. She understood immediately. Smart women always do. Weeks passed. Coffee turned into dinners. Dinners into long silences where truth hovered between us, heavy and unspoken. We never touched. Not yet. Power comes from restraint. The night everything collapsed, it happened by accident, or so my wife thought. We were at a restaurant. Public. Safe. She was mid-sentence when she saw me. Across the room. Not alone. I felt her before I saw her. Rage has a temperature. She crossed the space fast, heels sharp against the floor. "What is this?" she hissed, eyes flicking between us. I stood slowly. Calm. Measured. "This," I said, "is dinner." She laughed, too loud, too brittle. "You're disgusting." The woman beside me stood then. Graceful. Unshaken. She looked at my wife with a kind of sadness that cut deeper than anger. "You told him to deal with it," she said quietly. So he did. My wife froze. Recognition hit her a second later. The color drained from her face. "No," she whispered. "This isn't—" I smiled then. Not wide, not cruel, just enough. "You picked your ex?" I said. "I picked his wife." I leaned closer, voice low. "Perfect deal." She broke, not loudly. Her hands trembled. Her mouth opened, searching for control she no longer owned. People were watching now. Consequences always need witnesses. I didn't stay for the apology. Didn't wait for the explanation. I placed my card on the table and walked away with a woman who had already known the truth, just like me. Later, alone, I packed my things. No notes, no drama. Some endings don't need speeches. As I closed the door behind me, I felt nothing. No triumph, no regret, just clarity. She wanted me to deal with it. I did, and I never looked back.